We're too busy. A final reason that we might give or tell ourselves for not achieving our resolutions or goals is that we're just too busy. We don't have the time to do something. And I get that. I get that both from a quarter of a century of being an adult, particularly the last 10 or so years of being a super busy adult with a lot of commitments and things to make work. I get that from 20 years of people telling me how busy they are. I know we're busy, but there's a few considerations. Firstly, I would question if we're actually ever too busy to do anything at all. Have we ever been so busy in 10,080 minutes that we couldn't have stopped eating sooner? How is that even a thing? If we're just going to eat in exactly the same way but eat a bit less, being too busy is not a reason to do that. Have we ever been so busy we couldn't do any exercise at all? Could we really not have done 5 minutes of burpees in front of the TV once in that week? What often happens is we tell ourselves that that's not worth doing, or we give ourselves some other justification for not doing it. And of course, we're all grown-ups. We can choose to do what we like with our time and energy levels. But the narrative that we're too busy is questionable at best. We're never too busy to eat a bit less. We're never too busy just to make some different food choices that take the same amount of time, effort, and money and convenience. I'd argue if we're ever too busy to do some exercise. And as I've said many times, some exercise still has the benefits of doing it, and it makes it more likely that we'll do more. Are you genuinely telling me that take two identical people, one of whom has blasted out burpees once a week in front of the TV for 5 minutes for 30 years, and the other one hasn't exercised at all in 3 decades, are you telling me there's zero difference between their fitness and health? And by doing that 5 minutes or doing a single workout down here this week, it makes it more likely that we'll do something more next week than if we do nothing at all. By making some better food choices, it might not be the perfect ones that would get us in the Olympics or allow us to call ourselves a nutritionist, but it would have the benefit and make those better food choices still next week more likely. And then underpinning all of that is it's worth remembering that our energy levels, our mood, our fitness and our endurance that improve by exercising and making better food and lifestyle choices is what makes the rest of the 160 odd hours in the week more effective. I know, both from my own experience and from hundreds of people over the years, that when we're exercising regularly and looking after ourselves, we work more effectively. We enjoy our time doing other stuff more. We're just a better version of ourselves in a way that's important to us. And if anything, stopping doing that because we're too busy is making everything else harder than it has to be. So in summary, I get that you're busy. I'd question if you're ever too busy to do something that takes zero additional time. I'd question if you're ever too busy to do a little bit of exercise. And always remember that these things are what helps when you're busy. It helps do all that stuff that you're busy doing.